Have you ever felt this? A restless stirring deep inside, like life is moving. You're doing all the things you're supposed to do, and yet something is missing. An unawakened potential. A path you haven't dared to walk, like standing in front of a door. You hesitate to open. Why is it that looking around, some people seem to be constantly leveling up, achieving new things again and again, while you feel almost sickeningly familiar with the replays of yesterday, of last year, of years gone by? It's not just about innate talent, and it's not simply a matter of trying harder or having more discipline. Those things are important, yes, but they are often effects. The root lies in something far more uncomfortable, something your instinct tells you to avoid at all costs. Let's see this life not as a static place, but as a grand voyage. Every person has a ship, a starting point, and there's a map. But it's not the map of the outer world, it's the map of your inner world. A map full of unknown islands, powerful currents, stretches of fog, places that hold the power and meaning you've never truly reached. The true journey begins when we leave the safe harbor. The safe harbor is the comfort zone. It's warm. It's familiar. Everything is predictable. No major surprises, no lurking dangers, and that very ease is a subtle trap. We anchor here for too long, the ship becomes worn, the sailing skills atrophy. The map sits folded, never really explored to reveal the new lands. Potential was born to expand, not to remain curled up in a cozy cocoon. The biggest leaps in life start with a single uncomfortable choice, even tiny ones. Daring to step out of a lazy routine. Daring to speak a difficult truth, daring to learn something you know will make you feel awkward at first. Discomfort is not an obstacle. It is your compass. It points directly toward where transformation waits. Your goals, your dreams, they exist outside that familiar harbor. You'll never touch them unless you step out of the ship. This means daring to risk, daring to face the things that terrify you most, because the reward is precisely there. You were not made to simply sit and watch other ships sail by. You are made of the same material as the great explorers, the builders of history. You must choose the uncomfortable current. Choose the early morning when your body screams for sleep. Choose the hard conversation you dread. Choose to tackle the skill you know you might fail at initially. Growth is not found where you are standing. It is found where you hesitate to go, where you want to resist, and that is exactly where you must go. Remember the old wisdom. Woe to those who are at ease in Zion, Amos 6:1. Comfort may feel good in the moment, but it lulls you away from your deepest calling. President Theodore Roosevelt, frail as a boy, forced himself to embrace physical discomfort. Boxing, hiking, riding. He chose the uncomfortable path to build both body and spirit, and that discomfort became the seed of his greatness. Let yours do the same. But leaving the harbor, you will encounter fierce waves and jagged rocks. This is the territory of pain. If you avoid pain, you also avoid true power. That's the secret nobody wants to hear. Pain is not your enemy. It is your instructor, your sculptor, your divine blacksmith. Each time life strikes you, you are being shaped, molded, tempered. And yet we've been taught to shrink from the very fire that forges us, to numb the sting, to mask the wound. But I ask you, what if the pain you dread is the very tool that builds your destiny? Think of the body of a warrior. The strength of the muscle doesn't come from easy rest. It comes from tension, from tearing slightly, and rebuilding from extreme fatigue. When a muscle is placed under strain, it breaks down, but not to weaken. It breaks down to rebuild stronger. That is not destruction. That is divine design. And life is no different. The failures that shake you, the rejection that bruises your ego, the loneliness that echoes in your soul. These are not obstacles, these are initiation. Pain is the proving ground, the battlefield where the weak retreat and the strong emerge. The world's greatest achievers did not run from discomfort. They ran toward it. They did not avoid resistance. They trained under it. Thomas Edison faced 1,000 failures before perfecting the light bulb. Helen Keller, blind and deaf from childhood, endured suffocating silence and darkness to become a beacon of human potential. Abraham Lincoln suffered loss after loss, heartbreak after heartbreak, and still rose to lead a fractured nation, not in spite of pain, but through pain. Romans 5:3-4 whispers this eternal truth. Not only so, but we also glory in our sufferings because we know that suffering produces perseverance. Perseverance, character, and character, hope. Your pain is not a punishment. It is a process. It refines your character, burns away what is weak, and reveals what is unbreakable. It tests your patience, sharpens your endurance, and teaches you how to cultivate hope. You must stop praying for escape. Don't beg for lighter burdens. Build a stronger back. Life wasn't meant to be easy. It was meant to be earned. Stop wishing for comfort. Wish for courage. Don't wait for the path to get smoother. Prepare your feet for the thorns. The moment you stop running from pain and dare to face it, everything changes because pain only chases cowards. But when you confront it, embrace it, endure it, you find it has no power over you. In fact, you take its power and make it your own. This is how warriors are made. Not in comfort, not in silence, but in the fire. When you feel broken, know you are being built. When you feel crushed, know you are being crowned. Pain is the passage, not the prison. It is the corridor through which all strength must travel. So walk through it with fire in your eyes and steel in your spine. Carry your suffering like a sword, not a shackle, and remember every scar you bear is proof. You survived the strike, and every step through pain is a step toward power. Do not retreat. Do not flinch. You were never defined by avoidance. You were born for the climb, the conflict, the crown. Let pain teach you. Let it stretch you. Let it forge you. For in your deepest suffering lies your highest strength, and the glory of your true self waiting to emerge. That is how warriors are made. That is how you will be made. On this voyage, every nautical mile gained has its cost. The territory of goals demands sacrifice. You say you want to win. What have you given up to earn it? What have you laid on the altar of your ambition? Every goal carries a price tag. Every dream issues an invoice. And if you are not paying that price daily in time, in effort, in comfort, then the truth is you don't want it badly enough. People love to fantasize about success, but few are willing to fund that fantasy with sacrifice, because dreams are not handed to you. They are traded for. Traded for hours of silent discipline, traded for nights of solitude, while others party, traded for moments of leisure you will never get back. The man who achieves much has surrendered more. That is the unseen law of greatness. You cannot feast on distractions and expect destiny to feed you. You cannot party like everyone, sleep like everyone, and still expect to rise like no one. Success does not emerge from convenience. It demands your full attention, your undivided commitment, your relentless endurance. You must choose. Do you want to be entertained, or do you want to be exceptional? You cannot have both. This path isn't paved with applause. It's marked by absence, absent from parties, from comfort, from the crowd. You will rise in early mornings and labor in quiet rooms. You will be misunderstood, ridiculed, forgotten. And still you must stay the course because you are not living for approval. You are living for results. You are building something sacred, something only sacrifice can buy. Luke 14:28 asks, "For which of you intending to build a tower does not sit down first and count the cost?" Greatness is not an accident, it is an exchange. A life of meaning is built brick by brick, each brick paid for in energy, discipline, and delayed gratification. Sacrifice is not a loss. Booker T. Washington, born into the chains of slavery, refused to be a prisoner of circumstance. He traded his comfort for education. He walked miles just to attend a schoolhouse. He scrubbed classrooms just for a seat in them. He was mocked, ignored, pushed aside. But he counted the cost and paid it in full, and with each sacrifice he was building a tower of influence, of purpose, of legacy. He did not ask for ease. He asked for the opportunity to earn. That is the mindset of a winner. So I ask you now, what are you willing to give up? What comfort are you willing to burn? What convenience are you willing to bury? The answer to that question doesn't just shape your future, it defines it. No dream is too big, but every dream is too expensive for the undisciplined. If you're not trading for it, you're not truly trying for it. If you're not sacrificing for it, you're not serious about it. Begin today. Start trading. Start sacrificing. Start rising. Let others waste time. You must invest it. Let others chase pleasure. You must pursue purpose. Let others sleep. You must build. Let them laugh now if they must. Your results will speak later. You weren't born to blend in. You were born to break through. And every breakthrough is paid for in advance by the one who dares to give up what others cling to. So let go. Give it up. Pay the price. That is how towers are built. That is how legacies are born. That is how you win. And across those unknown waters, there's a peculiar thick fog, the territory of fear. Fear is an illusion. It's not real in the way a jagged rock is real. It's a projection, a shadow cast by what might go wrong, not what is wrong. And yet this illusion holds more people hostage than any actual failure ever will. Fear has aborted more dreams than poverty. It has destroyed more potential than rejection. It has crushed more destinies than criticism. Why? Because people believe the lie. They believe fear is a wall, when in truth it is a doorway. Fear shows up right before your breakthrough. It is not a warning to turn back. It is a signal to press forward. Because every victory, every promotion, every breakthrough you will ever experience will be preceded by a confrontation with fear. Fear of not being good enough. Fear of being laughed at. Fear of failing publicly. But these fears are not evidence of weakness. They are proof you are on the threshold of something significant. Something that matters. Something worth fighting for. So what must you do when fear arrives? You show up louder. Louder in your belief. Louder in your action. Louder in your movement. You move anyway. You do not negotiate with fear. You do not wait for it to vanish, because it won't. Fear is a loyal companion to those who dream big, so let it ride in the back seat, but never hand it the wheel. March with it beside you if you must, but never bow to it. You were not given a spirit of fear that is not your inheritance. 2 Timothy 1:7 declares with divine certainty, "For God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind." Fear is not your portion. Power is courage, is clarity. God has already equipped you with everything you need to face the darkness and win. All you must do is trust the power He placed in you. Fear is the enemy of destiny. It doesn't come to wound you. It comes to rob you of progress, rob you of peace, rob you of purpose. If you bow to fear, you lose everything. But if you rise in the face of it, if you defy it, you gain everything. Because courage isn't the absence of fear. Courage is movement in the face of it. It is defiance with your feet, rebellion with your actions, resistance with your persistence. Helen Keller was both blind and deaf, two of the most isolating realities any human could endure. Fear would have been natural, even acceptable, but she chose boldness. She chose knowledge. She chose the hard, narrow path of growth through faith and determination. She became a world voice for the disabled, a symbol of unbreakable will. She proved once and for all that fear may knock on your door, but it does not have to own the house. Your fear is a compass. Let it point you toward the very thing you must conquer. Let it show you where your courage is most required. Don't fight fear with logic. Fight it with faith. Fight it with motion. Fight it with decision. Stand on the edge of the unknown and take the step anyway. That is where champions are born. That is where destinies are made. So the next time fear whispers, "You can't," you roar back, "Watch me," because faith defeats fear every single time. On this voyage, your compass isn't for external navigation. Self-belief is your launch pad. No one will believe in you until you believe in yourself. And that's not arrogance. It's alignment. The first person who must endorse your vision is the one staring back at you in the mirror. before the world can support you, applaud you, follow you, or fund you. You must decide that you are worthy of that support. You must align your thoughts, your speech, your actions with the future you claim to desire, because belief is the first builder of all success. Proverbs 23:7 says with striking clarity, "For as he thinketh in his heart, so is he." Your thoughts don't just inform your feelings. They construct your future. Who you believe you are determines what you attempt, how you respond, and what you attract. If you see yourself as unworthy, you will sabotage success. If you see yourself as destined, you will endure difficulty with purpose. Harriet Tubman was born into chains, raised in slavery, surrounded by oppression. But she never saw herself as a slave. Deep in her soul, she believed she was meant to lead, to break chains, not wear them, and because she believed it, she acted on it. She escaped captivity, then returned again and again to lead others to freedom. Not because it was easy, but because her identity had already shifted. She wasn't walking as a former slave, she was walking as a liberator. Her vision of herself shaped her legacy and echoes through generations. You must do the same. Your current circumstances are not the final chapter. They are not your ceiling. They are your testing ground. But to rise above them, you must first rise from within. You must change the way you see yourself. Not as the victim, but as the victor. Not as the overlooked, but as the ordained. Your future will not surpass your identity, so elevate your self-perception, and your reality will begin to shift in response. Speak the identity you seek until it becomes your second nature. Say it aloud. Write it down. Repeat it until doubt disappears. You are not weak. You are becoming strong. You are not lost. You are being guided. You are not too late. You are right on time for your purpose. Destiny is drawn to those who walk in alignment with who they are called to be. So start walking, start declaring, start believing. Raise the thermostat, and your environment will follow. Because once you own your identity, you unlock your destiny. And everything begins to change from there. When you find your inner map, what powers your ship forward? Purpose kills procrastination. Purpose is the antidote to delay. When your actions are aligned with your inner calling, excuses vanish. You no longer need to be convinced to move. You don't need motivation when you've found conviction. Purpose becomes the fire beneath your feet and the light ahead of your path. It gives you the reason and the resolve to stop stalling and start building. Because when you know why you're doing something, you stop asking, "How long will it take?" and start declaring, "How far will I go?" Purpose clarifies. It reveals what matters and what doesn't. It helps you filter distractions, say no to what doesn't serve the mission, and yes to what fuels your destiny. Purpose isn't about passion. Passion comes and goes, but purpose stays. It's deeper than a feeling. It's a calling. It's the inner compass that points toward the assignment heaven has entrusted to you. And when you tap into that calling, energy flows. Resistance fades. Not because life gets easier, but because your focus gets sharper. Procrastination isn't a symptom of laziness, it's a signal. It tells you something is off. You're not aligned. You're not clear. You're moving out of duty, not out of destiny. But when you realign, when your soul catches up to your schedule, momentum builds. You don't have to drag yourself out of bed. Your vision pulls you. The weight lifts, the fog clears, and every step becomes sacred. Not easy, but essential. Romans 8:28 reminds us that purpose is divinely supported. And we know that in all things, God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose. That verse isn't just comforting, it's commissioning. It tells you that if you're aligned with God's purpose, every delay, disappointment, detour is being woven into something greater. Your setbacks are setups. Your waiting is not wasted. Purpose redeems the pause. Look at Clara Barton. She could have chosen a quiet life. She had every reason to stay in comfort, but purpose refused to let her settle. Through war, bloodshed, and disaster, she kept moving. Not because she was unafraid, but because her assignment outweighed her adversity. Her legacy. The American Red Cross was birthed in the heat of chaos. Purpose did that. And purpose won. Let it win in you. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. Stop asking for permission. Stop bargaining with fear. You don't need another sign. You need clarity. And clarity comes when you remember who you are, why you're here, and what's been placed in your hands. The world isn't waiting for another excuse. It's waiting for your execution. Your yes. Your step. Purpose is not a concept. It's a command. Now is the moment to release what you carry. Now is the moment to build what only you can build. Now is the moment to let purpose win. And finally, on the long, long journey, there are moments when the scenery is just monotonously boring. But boredom is a sign of breakthrough. Boredom isn't the enemy. It's the testing ground of mastery. It's not the moments of excitement that shape you. It's the hours of unseen, uncelebrated repetition. It's the early mornings when no one is watching, the long stretches, when nothing seems to change, the silence after effort. That's where legends are forged. Most people misread boredom as a sign to quit. But in truth, it's a sign you're close. The ones who rise above the rest are the ones who refuse to flinch in the face of monotony. When the thrill fades, when progress stalls, when repetition numbs what you do next, defines your future. These aren't the moments to search for a new path. They're the moments to deepen your commitment, to keep showing up, to keep moving forward. One dull step at a time. Because every time you endure boredom, you build grit. And grit builds greatness. The journey to mastery is paved with mundane days. Days that look the same. Days that test your patience more than your potential. But these are the proving grounds. These are the hidden stages where skills are sharpened, foundations are strengthened, and character is carved. No one sees the work in the shadows, but they will see the results in the spotlight. Galatians 6:9 reminds us, "Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up." The promise isn't given to the talented, it's given to the persistent. There's a harvest waiting, but only for those who stay through the dry season, who keep sowing even when it feels pointless. Because God honors faithful labor, especially when no one else does. You must do the same. Don't fear the slow days, embrace them. Don't resist the repetition. Master it. Every hour you spend in quiet discipline is a seed in the ground, and the harvest will come, but only if you don't stop planting. Boredom is not a wall, it's a hallway. You're not stuck, you're passing through. Keep walking, keep working. Your pace may be slow, but your progress is real, and every step you take in the dull moments is shaping a future that will dazzle the world. Don't wait for excitement to return. Bring excellence to the mundane. That's where the masters are made. That's where you are made. So there you have it. The journey mapping your inner world. Not about finding an easier way, but about accepting that the territories of discomfort, of challenge, of monotonous repetition are precisely where your true potential waits. You are equipped to navigate your ship through any storm, any fog. Just dare to look at the map within, dare to act, and dare to trust the process. The unlived life is waiting for you just beyond the edge of comfort. Are you ready?